Hello everyone, Glorious King Gabe here, and I am happy to present my custom showcase video of Viola. Viola is based off of the London and Northeastern Railway Y7 locomotive. I made concept art of her during 2020, and a couple of years later, I wanted to make her a wooden railway toy. Now, unlike most of my customs, which use existing toys as bases, like Reginald, Thomas, or even removable shells like Frederick, Viola was custom built by using various pieces of wood. Actually, there is one thing. Her chassis was the only thing that wasn't custom made. It is a modified slot and build chassis with blue wheels, cut down to have a wheel length similar to Lady's. I made two cardboard mock-up versions of an LNER Y7 in the wooden railway style. Here's construction on the first mock-up body. As you can tell, the boiler is way too big and is actually pretty flimsy, and the sidings are pretty small. The cab was actually the best part of it, I won't lie. Also, my attempt at the roof was, well, that. It looks really flimsy now that I think about it. This first mock-up shell also has my first attempt of making a wooden railway style funnel using air dry clay. Oh yeah, I also made that gold, I think it's safety valve or whatever that thing is, near her cab. The second mock-up shell is an improvement, now with a more defined rounded boiler. And the side tanks, which I believe look... okay, they're a bit bigger, but not by much. At this point, I figured out how to make wooden railway style funnels, which I'll talk about later. I also did yet another attempt at a dome, but this one looks kinda weird. I think I was trying to imitate a safety valve, but I didn't go through with it. The roof on this shell has a lot more layers and definitely looks stronger compared to the first one. I threw the second body onto the modified slot and build chassis. I'd say it looks pretty good, except the boiler still looks too big compared to the likes of, I don't know, someone like Lady. And thus began the creation of Viola's body using actual pieces of wood. Here is what I used to make Viola's body. Her boiler was cut from a wooden dowel. Her side tanks and footplate are wooden slabs cut to its desired size. Her cab was made from spare Jenga-like blocks cut to thirds. Her roof was made from cardboard. Her dome was actually one of Duck's domes wrapped in milliput. And her funnel and whistle were made from Q-tip sticks with masking tape wrapped around it. I got my milliput to fill in the gaps between the side tanks and the boiler. Any open areas on the roof, Duck's dome like I mentioned before, and the gap where the chassis was glued together, albeit not that well. With all that done, I painted her in dark blue. Now, Tester's gloss blue is very dark, so I had to mix some of the blue paint with gloss white paint to get her desired color. I also decided to give her a red buffer beam, and on the side of her, a dark gray footplate sides, or whatever that's called. I gave her a yellow lining, and I painted that on using a toothpick and masking tape. Her funnel, her roof, and her cab doorways were painted in black. Her whistle and her funnel cap were painted in gold, and I have to say, I love this look on her funnel. It stands out compared to the boring, plain black funnels of the sorter engines. After watching videos of her bases, specifically N.W.R 1310, I decided to give Viola a back window and back lining. And I absolutely love how this turned out. That just looks beautiful. And now for the final part of the painting process. I used another toothpick to paint Viola's white lettering on her side tanks. And as you can see here, instead of choosing LNER, I chose N.W.R, just like 1310. The last part of Viola was her face. I made her face in my paint program, and I printed out multiple versions until I selected one that is the right size and the right shade of gray. Then I glued her face onto two pieces of cardboard before gluing it onto her smoke box. And the cherry on top of this wonderful little custom is her name on the bottom. See what I did there? I proudly present Viola, the LNER Y7. Let's take a closer look at her. Yep, made her face
on my paint program, like I said before. And I know it's unnecessary to paint the fronts of the side tanks, well, at least their lining, but I don't know. I think it looked great on the Y7 that I looked at, so I just added to Viola. So yeah, there's a funnel, love the gold top. Her lining, the not LNER, NER, and the yellow complements the dark shade of blue on the back, in my honest opinion. And yeah, I did not know the slot and build chassis were plastic, as opposed to like regular Thomas Wooden Railway items where they're wood. But I'm not too bothered by that. Oh, here's her top. There's the dome that used to be ducks. Her whistle, which I think I made a little taller than her funnel, but I'm not too bothered by it. Although I fear that this might get in the way of her getting under certain tunnels and other destinations. Oh, and I was surprised to see that the coal bunker for the Y7s is right here, and it's so darn small. And yet they're able to, go pretty far with the amount of coal they hold. Go figure. There's her cap door. And I know the roof here is kind of slanted, but that's okay. Ah, yes, and one of the other parts I love about her, the backside details, where she has a cap window and backlining. I haven't done backlining in a while. Last time I did that was with LBSC Thomas, and I'm so glad I did it for Viola, because it honestly would have looked empty without it. And I'm glad I gave her a red buffer beam in the back and the front. Makes her, stand out. Okay, and I think that's pretty much it. Oh, there's the underside. Yeah, it wouldn't be Thomas Wooden Railway if it didn't have the name on the bottom. Well, unless it was like the 1990s and the through 2000 version, but oh well. And I might as well say this now. Viola is my favorite Thomas Wooden Railway custom I've made. That's right, this plucky little blue Y7 tank engine. Yeah, following her are my rake of green express coaches and the Season 1 troublesome truck. I don't know, I just feel so proud to say that this is a Thomas Wooden Railway toy that I've made. Visually, she's one of my best Thomas customs. But in terms of actual creation, she, along with this guy, are my favorite custom characters. Yeah, I know it's probably a surprise to hear that my favorite custom characters are not Reginald, but it's true. And that goes by with the stories I created for them, ironically including Reginald in them. But, like I said before, I shouldn't say more, or I will spoil the story. Alright, Frederick, let's just send you on your way. Anyways, this has been my custom showcase on Viola, the Y7. Tell me what you think of Viola in the comments down below. Thank you everybody for watching, and I will see you in the next video.